I love the music. The DJ is incredible.
The people are really awesome.
Headshot. Sit down. And do it. Pass out. Wake up. Hate it. Pull up. Headshot. Sit down. And do it. Pass out. Wake up. Hate it.
What's up, YouTube? This is your pal Alchemix. I just wanted to come back and do a quick video on something I set up almost a year ago, but more recently I just finally been getting some good use out of. I made a low-tech budget booth, and it actually has really good results as far as audio output. At the end of the day, when you're talking about music, it doesn't really matter what it looks like where you recorded it. It matters what it sounds like. So keep that in mind, because it's kind of an ugly looking setup, but at the end of the day, I'm quite impressed with the results that come out of this thing. I've been blessed. I have a big shop here. I dual purpose almost every space. Originally, I created an audio silence room just for my compressor to run all my tools. I didn't want to have to listen to that noisy bitch as it was shoving a ton of air into its tank. And it came to me more recently, hey, I could turn this into a recording studio and probably get some pretty decent results. And lucky for me, I wasn't too far off. So you can see here, we're still kind of transitioning back from ProMix 206, my big annual party. This is usually just full of cars and nothing else. But if we head back here towards the dungeon, as I like to call it, this is the recording studio. Now, as you can see, typically this is for employees only, but I'm going to let you guys go ahead and get some sneak peeks, some backstage access. Like most of these recording studios I've seen, budget booths, it gets hot as hell in here really quickly. So in between takes, I often have to turn a fan on, open the door. It kind of sucks. I kind of wish I would have installed myself a AC unit over here in this wall. I'd still only be able to run it in between takes because a good studio mic will pick up a pin drop in the next room. But I did not have that kind of insight. But as you can see, my brother-in-law, an awesome dude, he hooked me up with some audio silencing panels. He does a lot of construction and has leftover material a lot. So he gave me these. They're kind of corrugated and they have holes in them. And then in between that and the drywall on the other side, I double stacked a lot of thick insulation to really quiet down this room. So when this compressor runs, you can see this big old beast in here. You can barely hear that thing run at all. And that's a 60-gallon vertical Bel Air compressor. It's quite loud when you don't have it set up like this. I strapped some big old foam pads to it so that it won't bounce high-end sound around as much. These little mattress toppers here, they're about 20 bucks. I think I got them at Target. I got 3 or 4 of them in here wherever there wasn't the audio silence panels. I also got these kind of industrial puzzle piece floor mats for the concrete floor to prevent that from reverberating. Those are about 20 bucks a pack. Over here you can see I keep an iPad and some decent Audio Technica headphones. I think these were about 100 bucks. And they are mainly just for people to listen to an instrumental or a metronome if you're playing an instrument, so that you can try and keep your rhythm, and that makes it a lot easier for me to edit it in a DAW later. I love this beast. This is the Audio Technica 4040. It came with this little shock mount. You want to make sure that The wire, everything isn't touching anything, so that it can really be able to pick up only the harmonics coming through. That's a little SP filter back there. And you can see in the back of my little booth here, I got a couple bass traps. I got one over here, one in that corner too, just to make sure that the low end frequencies don't bounce around and really amplify and get picked up in your recording. Got a couple carpets inside of the booth, some shag carpet, just to try and isolate a little bit more. Ideally, I would have a better ceiling. That's just a thin ass neoprene little setup, but it really doesn't seem to cause too much trouble. That is a Mogami Gold cable. It's expensive as hell, and it's pretty much a permanent install. It lives in this booth, but that's going to give you the best feed to your audio interface. Over here, this is not what I would consider the ideal audio interface. It's not bad. I think the digital MIDI out sounds really good. The mixer itself I don't really like. When I'm lining through, have XLR cables going out to speakers, there's a bit of static, and I hate that. I have a DJM 900 NXS2, and that mixer, it absolutely makes zero sound except for whatever signal you're passing through it. So it's a little hard for me to listen to static noise when I know that a good mixer shouldn't have that. Plus, I also know it's tough when you have a piece of gear that's doing multiple things. It's gonna do all of them less well than if it's just a dedicated unit. So eventually I will probably invest in a Scarlett now that the G3s are out. I know that those are nice, small, portable, easy to move around. But I got this in a package deal with some speakers, so I'm not complaining too much. I basically just have the AT4040 going here. I got another Mogami Silver that I'm going to hook up this Shure PG for my guitar, and I'm going to do some sampling for you so you can compare between the GoPro camera and the studio mics. And then I just send it over here to my laptop. I'm not using anything fancy. This is Audacity. It's free software, and it's really nice actually. I just set the settings so that it shows clipping, so it'll have a big red line whenever it's spiking, and then I can go over here and dial in the levels and everything and make sure that I'm only getting a signal that's not frying my speakers. It lets me kick everything out in either WAV or MP3 or other formats. I use WAVs because that's what DAWs prefer. And for the most part, that's about it. This whole studio probably cost me under $1,000. The most expensive, I think that AT4040 is around $300-400. Bass traps and stuff, I bought a really cheap kit. I probably should have invested in a little better one. The Mackie, I think, is around $250. And like I said, not the ideal. You could get a Scarlett for cheaper. The foam panels, I needed like 2 or 2.5 packs. Those were like $15-20 each. I had a lot of foam left over from I do a lot of auto interior upholstery rebuilds and stuff, so I had to buy a couple of them. They're like $20 a pop. But for the most part, this is scrap crap. But yeah, this is a pretty damn low budget booth, and overall I really liked the results that I got with it. At the end of the day, when you're talking about audio, it's not what it looks like, it's what it sounds like, because that's what the end user is gonna hear and appreciate. So this guitar here, I'm gonna be playing this in the sample. I pulled this out for the first time in probably about 2.5 years today, and the G and the B strings, they have a lot of buzz behind them. I think I need a new bridge on that bad boy. Not to mention, I'm also just a mediocre guitarist at best. So it's going to be an awesome opportunity for you guys to hear how articulate a good studio microphone is in a controlled environment. You're going to be able to hear a lot of mistakes and a lot of stuff that typically a professional audio engineer would absolutely say, hey, go get your guitar fixed or something like that. And that's pretty much it. It really, again, like I said, low budget, but at the end of the day, whatever comes out of it, that's what matters, what it sounds like. People don't know where you recorded or how you recorded. A lot of people record in a hallway or a bathroom or something for that reverb effect. And as long as it sounds good at the end of the day, that's all that matters. What you really need to do, you want to train your ears like to hear. It took me a long time. I was a DJ for probably about 3 years before I started to hear the difference between a low quality file and a high quality one, between a YouTube converted pile of crap and something that's 320K or WAV file or FLAC or whatever, AIFF. So that's something, if you're brand new to this, if you're listening to this on computer speakers, it's probably going to be harder for you to appreciate the detail that is actually picked up and translated through a good studio microphone. Whereas if you're listening on a really nice set of monitors, it should be much easier for you to hear the difference between one or the other, the GoPro microphone or the AT4040 Shure combo. So I'll be right back in a minute, play some samples for you. Like I said, again, don't judge me for my performing abilities. I don't consider myself the artist. I'm trying to be more the engineer, producer guy behind the scenes. So love you guys. Hope you guys enjoy this pace. Watching you, watching me, a fine way to fall asleep. The children fight, but soon they'll rest their eyes. Hands in the falling snow, we're numb to the winter cold. We don't mind, 'cause we'll get warm inside. You're the reason I come home. You're the reason I come home, my love. You're the reason that when everything I know falls apart, you're the reason I come home. Paper doll silhouettes, fingertips on window glass. The streets asleep, so I breathe you in deep. The tragedies of chemistry, and people dream of what you and me have found so effortlessly. You're the reason I come home. You're the reason I come home, my love. You're the reason that when everything I know gets fucked up, you're the reason I come home.
long time I remember saying prayers for something perfect, saying prayers for someone kind. It was all just in my head. I was spinning circles all alone instead. Whoa. You were the reason I came home. You're the reason I came home, my love. You're the reason that when everything I know gets fucked up, you're the reason I come home. You're the reason I come home. Watching you, watching me, I find a way to fall asleep. The children fight, but soon they'll rest their eyes. Hands in the falling snow, we're numb to the winter cold. We don't mind, 'cause we'll get warm inside. You're the reason I come home. You're the reason I come home, my love. You're the reason that when everything I know falls apart, you're the reason I come home. Paper doll silhouettes, fingertips on window glass. The streets asleep, so I breathe you in deep. The tragedies of chemistry, when people dream of what you and me have found so effortlessly. You're the reason I come home. You're the reason I come home, my love. You're the reason that when everything I know gets fucked up, you're the reason I come home. For a long time I remember saying prayers for something perfect, saying prayers for someone kind. It was all just in my head. I was spinning circles all alone instead. Whoa. You're the reason I came home. You're the reason I came home, my love. You're the reason that when everything I know gets fucked up, you're the reason I come home. You're the reason I come home.
Get shots for hoes that pose and send them